and do things in a way that you may find challenging. I know I am, and I know that I'm going to have to just really muster my inner Georgie fan rather than my inner Georgie critic. So we're going to start with trap 3. Now the trapezius muscles are muscles that stem from the base of your skull here down to the tip of your shoulder here, and then they come and attach in the middle of the back here. So they make sort of a diamond shape like this. And they have 3 portions. They have your upper portion, which is essentially this part of the muscle that comes into the neck. They have the middle portion, and they have the lower portion through here. And the upper portion does this, the lower portion does this, and the middle portion does this. So really what we want to do with trap 3 is activate those lower portions that roll the shoulders back and down, because what that does is then softens and takes tension out of the neck and those shoulders, which most of us, when we become stressed, activate traps 1, shoulders up by our ears. So what we want to do today is really activate traps 3. To do that, I encourage you either to have a very, very light weight, but most of you will probably need no weight at all. And all you're going to do is go into a slight bend, and those arms are going to come up at about a 45-degree angle, so that you're really imagining the tips of your shoulder blades being drawn back and down, almost as if you're sort of corseting those shoulder blades down in towards the middle of the back. And as you do that, you're going to raise the arms up. So we're going to do 30 of those. Sideways on. And frontways on. And I really want you to think about those muscles, the lower third of that diamond being what's doing that motion. So it's the lower third of the diamond that is pulling the shoulder blades down and back as you raise the arms up into that V. Please do not rush this. You could do 30 of these, no problem, and you would not activate those muscles once. So I want you to really think about rolling the shoulders back and down, and as you hold that, you raise muscle. If you want to increase the intensity, you add a slight forward bend, and you do it. If you want to make it even harder, you add a very light weight in that forward bend position, and you raise them up again. And we're going to do 30 on each arm together at the same time, or you can separate and do 30 on one arm and then 30 on the other arm. If you're not feeling this, then you're not doing it right, essentially. And it's all about the thinking about rolling that shoulder back and down, and you keep that contraction, holding that shoulder back and down as you raise the arm up in that 45-degree angle. Okay, so give that a go. Really think about these muscles here doing the work, and let me know how you get on with it. Then we're moving on to pop-ups, which those of you who did not enjoy the snap jumps the other day, I'm sorry, you're going to hate me, because these are essentially the next progression from that. But again, it's focusing on really activating these muscles that roll those shoulders back and down. And the reason we're doing this, folks, is posture. If we can activate those muscles that keep our chest open and keep our shoulders back and down, it makes your shoulders look squarer. It helps you stack your head on top of your shoulders rather than have your head in this forward rounded posture. So the more we can really activate these muscles in the back that are so inactive in typing postures and seating postures and on our phone postures, if we can actually activate them in our exercises to do that for our spines and for our shoulders and for our chest, we're going to look, feel and move a million times better. So enough blabbing, pop-ups, plank position. You're going to jump the legs out. You're then keeping those shoulders pulled back and down. Don't let them come up by the ears, shoulders back and down. From that position, you're going to snap jump in, but you're going to pop the arms up at the same time. So 1, 2, 3. And that pop-up really comes from that mid-back, working those muscles to pull those shoulders back and down. So these really should be feeling nice and active. If you want to tone this down, you simply do the walk out and then pop. Walk out, walk in, and then pop. And so I would really focus more on that pop-up being the focus today rather than the burpee. So if you need to turn it down with walkout, go for it. But just make sure that even in that plank position, you're thinking about the shoulders being rolled back and down rather than up by your ears, okay? So that's exercise 2. Exercise 3, push-ups. 30 of them again. Remember, we can do them in many, many ways. We've got the one where you do it against a wall and you push. Okay, let me see if I can do it. So against a wall and you push up against a wall as far as you can, remembering to keep those elbows darting back the whole time. You can take your arms out slightly wider if you need to make it slightly easier, more of a chest exercise. If you want it purely to be those bingo wings triceps, then really keep the elbows nice and tight to the chest. The second level for the triceps, for the push-up rather, is on the knees, box. So nice box, fingers facing forward, pushing through your fingertips, shoulders rolled back and down, engage those lower trapezius muscles, traps 3 that we were talking about, and then you dip your nose to the floor, core nice and strong, and you do the same again. And you're going to do 30 of those. The more you take the knees out, the harder it gets. So you don't have to go straight from the box to the straight knees down. You can bring the knees in. Whoops. So from that position, let me just check. Yep, we're still going. So box position, knees out, the halfway house, plank position, you're going to lower down with your knees up, and then push up with your knees down, and then lower down, knees up, push up, knees down, and then of course the full push up, nice strong plank, tummy engaged, lower down, push up, lower down, push up. Oh my goodness, I just find them so hard, no matter how many of them, I just still find them so hard. So remember, work at whatever level suits you, be really, really supportive, know that you're doing this for your body and for your health and for yourself, not just because you have to. Make it exciting and make it for you. So that's push-ups. Then we've got aeroplane plies. This one really is focusing again in that mid-back. It's all about posture today, folks. Posture and form. So hands out to the side, and we're going to go into that golfer's lunge. Not even golfer's lunge, golfer's lift. So I've got weights in my hands at the moment. I'm going to encourage you to get rid of those because we're doing so much work in these traps that I doubt you'll need them. And all you're going to do is hands out to a T, really, really engaging those lower trapezius muscles, really rolling the shoulders back and down. Holding that position, you're going to come forward into this aeroplane, come C. Whoop. And this is about balance because it's really, really, as you can see, tough, particularly when you do it on a carpet. On a hard surface, it is a little bit easier. From this position, this aeroplane position, really think about your core being what's holding you nice and balanced. And from there, you're going to bend your knee as low as you can go, keeping those arms and hands lifted up to the ceiling, and then slowly come back up. And then slowly down, knees over toes, arms lifted, shoulders back and down, and slowly up. So that is your sort of high level. If you want to increase the intensity, you can add weights, but I only encourage you to do that if you can do it with beautiful structure and form. If your shoulders roll forwards a bit, you've lost the core principle of the exercise and the core aim of the exercise. And often what happens is when we add weights, we so try and do it that we recruit stronger muscles that we use more frequently to do the work. I want you to engage the smaller muscles that we don't necessarily move as much. Now, to make this exercise easier, you either keep the toe on the floor, so I want your body at 90 degrees but toe can tip on the floor and then slide, or alternatively you can rest the toe on, say, a sofa or chair, so it's at a slightly higher point, and then you do it. Another option is to Actually, no, I'm not going to give you that option, it's just too complicated. So really it's a case of aeroplane arms, come forward into a tip, try and keep the hips straight and the pelvis level. There's a temptation to open up that pelvis. Try and drop the right hip. You'll probably have to have the right hip lower than you think. And then from this position, see if I can do it whilst looking at a moving screen. Okay, you're going to slowly bend that knee, really focusing on that left knee going out over the toe, keeping the back leg lifted, keeping those hands lifted and shoulders up, and then slowly come back up. 15 on each leg. That's going to be really tough. Lots of you are going to be falling all over the place. I'm sure when I come to do it tomorrow, I will be too. Then we're going to do the last little one, which is tricep bridges, which is really a combination of 2 exercises. Look at that sleeping puppy. 2 exercises, which is our tricep dips and a bridge. So you're going to pop your hands onto a chair, ideally a surface slightly higher than this, because I'd like your hips about 90 degrees. So if you're slightly higher, ideally they'd be about here. But whatever you can get, whether it's a chair or a sofa edge or the side of your bed or in a gym, it doesn't matter. The legs are going to come out full, if for harder, in for easier, raised for hardest, okay? But the exercise is this. You're going to do a tricep dip, shooting the elbows straight back. You're going to raise up into a bridge. Bottom comes back, down, up, raise, back, down, up, raise. What I don't want to see is one swift swing like this. No, there you're missing out that key triceps work. So roll the shoulders back and down, do the dip, come out of the dip, go into the bridge, come back down. Dip, up, bridge, down. The harder version with the legs out will look like this. Dip, up, bridge, down. Dip, up, bridge, down. And so on and so forth. Break them down if you need to. With this one, there's a real temptation to allow the shoulders to roll forward. Try and really think about keeping that shoulder rolled back and down, and just keep that elbow darting backwards as much as you can. That will really, again, work those triceps, which after your push-ups and after your aeroplanes and after your pop-ups, you're really going to be feeling it in this arms. But what I hope as well tomorrow is you're really feeling it through this area through here. Because really, guys, what I'm getting at posturally, it is one of our weakest chains within our body, this posterior muscle chain that runs down the back. And the more we can start activating and strengthening that, the more we're going to open our chest, square our shoulders, stand up tall, stack our heads on top of our spine then a million miles forward, and really start seeing the shape and sight of our bodies shift. So I know this was a really long video today, I apologise. I'm going to run through really quickly what those exercises were. Traps 3, come into a slight forward bend, standing for easiest, slightly forward for the standard, and from that position you roll the shoulders back and down and hands go up to 45 degrees. You can add weights if you want to, but really focus on these muscles here doing the work. Then we're moving on to pop-ups. So jump out, jump up, jump out, jump up. Again, mid-back, doing all the work. Next one, push-ups. However you want to do them, just make sure you do them in a way that works for your body. I expect my bottom was probably in the air a bit because that felt far too easy for my personal push-ups. Then the next one, we've got aeroplane pliés. Into that nice T, hips nice level, shoulders pulling back and down, keeping the arms there, weights in the hands to make it harder, no weights to keep it at a standard level, and then slowly controlled, bend that leg, use that core and come up. 15 on each legs. And then the last one we've got, which are tricep dips and bridges. So lower down, shoulders back and down, up, then into the bridge. And down, up, into the bridge. Really engage your core throughout. Don't overarch the back as you lift into the bridge. If you can contract your core, that should stop that happening.